Ladies and gentlemen, life has a way of teaching us lessons that no textbook ever could. By the time we reach our senior years, we've faced storms, celebrated victories, and gathered wisdom that only comes with experience. Yet, the world often forgets that seniors are not just people with years behind them. They are leaders with clarity, resilience, and vision ahead of them. Effectiveness at this stage of life is not about rushing or chasing every opportunity. It's about living with intention, making a meaningful impact, and leaving a legacy that inspires. Today, I want to share 7 habits that set apart highly effective senior people. Habits that keep the mind sharp, and the spirit vibrant and the purpose alive. Habit number 1. They keep learning, always. You know, one of the saddest things I ever hear is when someone says, "I'm too old to learn new things." That sentence is like closing the curtains on a bright sunny day. Because the truth is, learning is the spark that keeps our minds alive. It's not reserved for classrooms or college students. It's the fuel that keeps us growing, evolving, and feeling connected to the world around us. Think about it, Doug. Every new thing you learn gives you another way to see life, another tool in your belt, another reason to get up in the morning with curiosity in your heart. Our brains are not like old machines that wear out. They are more like muscles that get stronger the more we use them. And in our senior years, stage brings, we have something that younger people often lack: the patience and perspective to truly appreciate what we're learning. I once met a man in his 70s who decided to learn digital photography. At first, he struggled. He couldn't figure out all the buttons, and editing software seemed like another language. But little by little, he learned. A year later, he was not only taking breathtaking photos of his travels, he was teaching others in his community center. He didn't just pick up a new skill. He discovered a new way to see the world and share it. So, what can you do right now to keep learning? First, follow your curiosity. If something makes you wonder, don't just think about it. Dig deeper. Read a book, watch a tutorial, take a free online course. Curiosity is your compass, let it lead you. Second, challenge yourself with something completely new. It could be learning a language, mastering a new recipe, or even joining a discussion group. The harder it feels at first, the more rewarding it becomes. And third, learn in the company of others. Join a class or group where you can share ideas and experiences. Because learning isn't just about information, it's about connection. Now, let me ask you this. When was the last time you tried something for the very first time? How did it make you feel? Was there a spark of excitement, maybe even a little fear? That's the sign you're stretching, growing, and staying alive inside. When you keep learning, you keep moving forward. No matter what your birth certificate says, every new skill, every fresh piece of knowledge is a reminder that your story isn't finished yet. You're still adding chapters, still discovering new versions of yourself. So don't let the world tell you it's too late. Prove, with every day you live, that your mind is wide open and your best discoveries are still ahead. Habit number 2. They prioritize health like their life depends on it. Because it does. You don't realize how precious good health is until the day you start to lose it. Suddenly, the things you took for granted, climbing stairs without stopping, carrying groceries without feeling winded, sleeping through the night, become luxuries. That's why highly effective seniors treat their health as their most valuable possession. They know that without it, every other goal, dream, and plan becomes harder to achieve. Prioritizing health doesn't mean over every calorie or running marathons. It means making consistent, intentional choices that keep the body strong and the mind clear. This brings, it's about respecting the body that has carried you through decades of life's ups and downs, and giving it the care it deserves. I remember meeting a woman in her late 60s who used to struggle with constant fatigue. She told me that for years, she believed feeling tired was just part of getting older. Then one day, her granddaughter invited her to a park, and she couldn't keep up for even 10 minutes. That moment was her wake-up call. She started walking daily, added more vegetables to her meals, and made sleep a priority. A year later, she wasn't just keeping up. She was leading the way. She didn't just add more years to her life, she added more life to her years. So how can you make your health a true priority starting today? First, move every day, no matter how small the action. A brisk walk, light stretching, dancing to your favorite song. It all counts. Movement keeps your joints flexible, your heart strong, and your energy steady. Second, pay attention to what you feed your body. Choose foods that fuel you, not just fill you. Lean proteins, fresh fruits, colorful vegetables. These aren't just good for you, they're an investment in your future self. Third, listen to your body's signals. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Regular checkups and early attention to health concerns can make all the difference. Ask yourself, if your body were a priceless car, would you skip the maintenance and hope it keeps running? Or would you protect it so it lasts for the long road ahead? The truth is, you can always buy another car, but you only get one body. When you prioritize your health, you're not just avoiding illness. You're unlocking the freedom to live fully. You're giving yourself the ability to travel, play with grandchildren, try new hobbies, and show up for the moments that matter most. Highly effective seniors understand that every step they take toward better health is a step toward a richer, more vibrant life. So treat your body like the treasure it is, because nothing, absolutely nothing, is more valuable than the energy and strength to keep living on your own terms. Habit number 3, they build strong, positive relationships. One of the greatest joys in life is knowing that, no matter what happens, you have people you can turn to. People who lift you up, make you laugh, and stand by you when life feels heavy. As we grow older, we begin to understand that it's not the number of people in our lives that matters, but the quality of those connections. Highly effective seniors know this well. They focus their energy on building strong, positive relationships that enrich their days and give life deeper meaning. Positive relationships are more than just social interactions. They're emotional lifelines. They keep us engaged, supported, and connected to the world around us. And for seniors, these bonds often become even more valuable, offering comfort during tough times and joy during good ones. The people we choose to keep close can influence our mood, our motivation, and even our health. Research shows that strong social ties can reduce stress, improve mental well-being, and even help us live longer. I once met a retired teacher who, after losing her husband, found herself feeling isolated and unsure of how to move forward. Instead of withdrawing, she decided to join a local community gardening group. At first, it was just about having something to do. But over time, those gardening sessions became the highlight of her week. She formed close friendships, shared laughter, and found herself surrounded by people who genuinely cared. She told me, "The flowers weren't the only thing that grew in that garden. I grew too." So, how can you start building or strengthening your own positive relationships? First, be intentional. Reach out to people who bring you joy, and make time for them regularly. A quick phone call, a shared coffee, or even a short walk together can go a long way. Second, be a giver as much as a receiver. Offer encouragement, listen without judgment, and show genuine interest in others' lives. Relationships thrive when they're built on mutual care and respect. Third, don't be afraid to expand your circle. Join groups, classes, or clubs that match your interests. You might be surprised at the friendships waiting to be discovered. Let me ask Yug. When was the last time you told someone how much they mean to you? How often do you make space for the people who truly make you feel alive? The truth is, life feels fuller when it's shared. Strong, positive relationships give us laughter in the good times and comfort in the hard ones. They remind us that no matter our age, we are part of something bigger, a network of care, kindness, and love. Highly effective seniors understand this. The bonds we build are not just connections. They are the heartbeat of a life well lived. Surround yourself with people who make you better, and watch how your days become brighter, and your purpose even stronger. Habit number 4. They practice gratitude daily. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to carry a light in their eyes, no matter what's happening in their lives? That light often comes from one simple habit: gratitude. Highly effective seniors understand that gratitude isn't just a polite thank you. It's a way of seeing the world. It's the choice to focus here, what's good, and what's worth celebrating, even on days that aren't perfect. Gratitude changes the way we experience life. Instead of waking up and counting problems, it teaches us to count blessings. This doesn't mean ignoring challenges. It means not letting those challenges steal the spotlight from the good that's still present. For seniors, this habit can be especially powerful. It's a reminder that life is full of moments worth appreciating, no matter our age or circumstances. I once met a man in his 70s who had recently moved to a smaller home after decades in the same neighborhood. At first, he struggled. He missed his old garden, his familiar street, his neighbors. But every morning, he made himself write down 3 things he was grateful for: the smell of fresh coffee, a phone call from an old friend, the sun shining through his window. Over time, he told me, those small daily notes shifted everything. I stopped thinking about what I lost, he said, and started seeing how much I still had. His days felt lighter and his outlook became brighter. So how can you practice gratitude daily in your own life? First, make it a ritual. Before you go to bed or right when you wake up, list 3 things you're thankful for, big or small. Second, express it. Tell people in your life that you appreciate them. You'll be amazed at how it deepens your relationships. Third, slow down and notice the details. The sound of laughter, the warmth of sunlight, the comfort of a familiar chair. Gratitude grows when you pay attention. Ask yourself, how often do you pause to truly appreciate the little things this stage brings? And when was the last time you acknowledged the good that's already here, instead of waiting for something better to arrive? The beauty of gratitude is that it doesn't depend on wealth, status, or perfect circumstances. It's available to everyone, every single day. When you practice it daily, you train your mind to look for the good. And the more you look, the more you find. Highly effective seniors know this secret: a grateful heart is a strong heart. It keeps you grounded in joy, resilient in hardship, and open to life's beauty. So, carry gratitude with you like a lens through which you see the world. And watch how it turns even ordinary moments into extraordinary gifts. Habit number 5, they manage time with purpose. Time is the one thing we can never get back. You can earn more money, buy more things, even rebuild relationships. But once a day is gone, it's gone forever. Highly effective seniors know this truth deep in their bones. And that's why they treat time like the precious currency it is. They don't just let the days drift by, they live with intention, making each moment count towards something meaningful. Managing time with purpose doesn't mean living by a rigid schedule or filling every minute with activity. It means making conscious choices about how you spend your days. It's the difference between waking up and saying, "Let's see what happens today," and waking up and saying, "Here's what I want to make happen today." When you direct your time toward things that matter, whether that's personal goals, relationships, health, or creativity, you shape a life that feels full instead of empty. I once spoke to a retired engineer who, after leaving his career, spent the first year doing a little bit of everything. But at the end of that year, he realized he couldn't remember much of what he had done. "I was busy, but not purposeful," he told me. The following year, he decided to focus on 3 priorities: mentoring young engineers, restoring vintage bicycles, and spending more time with his grandchildren. Suddenly, his days felt richer. He wasn't just passing time, he was investing it. So how can you manage your time with purpose starting today? First, identify your priorities. Ask yourself what truly matters to you at this stage of life and give those things space in your daily routine. Second, set small but clear goals. They give your days structure and direction, and the satisfaction of achieving them builds momentum. Third, learn to say no to things that don't align with your values or drain your energy. Every yes you give away is time you can't get back. Let me ask you, if you looked back at your week, would you be proud of how you spent your time? Are your days filled with activities that energize you, or with habits that simply fill the clock? The truth is, purposeful time management isn't about squeezing more into your day. It's about filling your day with more of what matters. Highly effective seniors understand that time is their most valuable asset, and they spend it in ways that leave them with memories, accomplishments, and joy instead of regrets. When you manage your time with purpose, you stop merely existing and start truly living. Every morning becomes an opportunity. And every evening ends with the satisfaction of knowing you spent your day well. Habit number 6, they share their wisdom generously. Some of the most powerful words you'll ever hear don't come from books or speeches. They come from someone who's lived through life's storms and still stands tall. Highly effective seniors understand this. They know their wisdom is not meant to be locked away like treasure in a vault. It's meant to be shared, passed on, and used to guide others. Because wisdom, unlike possessions, grows in value the more you give it away. Sharing wisdom isn't about giving lectures or telling people what to do. It's about offering insight, perspective, and encouragement drawn from real-life experiences. It's the difference between simply saying, "I've been there," and showing someone the path you took so they can find their own way forward. And for seniors, this gift is priceless because it carries the credibility of a life actually lived. I once met a retired nurse who volunteered at a local youth center. She didn't just talk about medical skills. She shared lessons about resilience, patience, and compassion. One young woman told me, "She's like my lighthouse. She doesn't tell me where to go, but she helps me see where I am." That's the power of sharing wisdom. It lights up possibilities for others. So, how can you share your wisdom generously starting now? First, be present for conversations. Listen before you speak, and when you do share, make it about guiding rather than controlling. Second, tell your stories. Not just the victories, but also the struggles and mistakes. People learn best when they see the full picture, not just the polished version. Third, look for opportunities to mentor, volunteer, or simply be available for those who seek advice. You don't have to stand on a stage to make an impact. Sometimes the most meaningful wisdom is shared over a cup of tea. Ask yourself, how many lessons have you learned that could help someone avoid unnecessary pain or find success faster? And what good does it do if those lessons stay locked in your mind? When you share your wisdom, you create ripples that stretch far beyond your own life. Your words, your experiences, your insights, they can inspire, guide, and even transform someone's path. Highly effective seniors know that their legacy isn't just what they leave behind. It's what they pass on while they're still here. And here's the beautiful thing, the more you give your wisdom away, the richer your life becomes, because you get to watch it make a difference. So don't keep your story to yourself. Share it generously and watch how it changes the world, one person at a time. Habit number 7, they embrace instead of resisting it. Change can be unsettling. It's like walking into a room you've never been before. You don't know where the furniture is, and you're afraid of bumping into something. But here's the truth, change is not the enemy. In fact, highly effective seniors know that change is often the doorway to growth, new experiences, and unexpected joy stage brings. They don't waste energy fighting what's inevitable. Instead, they choose to adapt, learn, and find opportunities within it. Embracing change doesn't mean pretending it's easy. It means acknowledging the discomfort but moving forward anyway. Life is full of transitions. Retirement, moving to a new home, shifts in health, changes in relationships. Each one can feel like losing a piece of the familiar. But if you look closely, each change also brings a chance to discover something new about yourself and the world around you. I once spoke to a man in his early 70s who had worked in the same industry for over 40 years. When the company downsized, he was devastated. For months, he saw it only as a loss. But then, instead of dwelling on what was gone, he signed up for a woodworking class at a local community center. Something he had always wanted to try. That class turned into a small business, selling handcrafted furniture. If that change hadn't pushed me, he told me, I might have never found this new chapter. So, how can you learn to embrace change instead of resisting it? First, shift your perspective. Ask yourself, what could this change make possible for me? Even the smallest shift in thinking can open the door to opportunity. Second, take small steps instead of overwhelming yourself with the whole picture. Focus on what you can do today to adjust, rather than trying to control everything at once. Third, keep learning. The more skills, hobbies, and interests you develop, the more adaptable you become when life takes an unexpected turn. Let me ask you, how many times in your life have you faced a change you didn't want, only to look back later and realize it led to something better? How would your life look today if you greeted change with curiosity instead of fear? The beauty of embracing change is that it keeps you alive inside. It reminds you that your story isn't finished, that there are still chapters to be written. Highly effective seniors know this secret. Change isn't the end of something familiar. It's the beginning of something different and possibly even better. So, when life shifts, don't hold on so tightly to what was that you miss what's next. Lean into it, learn from it, and let it lead you to places you never imagined you'd go. Being a highly effective senior person is not about how many years you've lived. It's about how much life you put into those years. These 7 habits are not just routines. They are commitments to growth, purpose, and impact. Seniors who practice them prove that life's later chapters can be the most inspiring, powerful, and rewarding of all. The world doesn't just need the youth's energy. It needs the elders' wisdom, resilience, and example. So, live each day as proof that effectiveness has no expiration date. And neither does greatness.